today. Woo! Y'all. Hi, it's me, Katie. Back for more crocheting with you today. I literally just walked back into this office and had the 2 minutes that started on this pre-stream, I guess, I don't know, to get my light set up, to get my supplies here, like to gather all my things because I was out running errands, and I got back super late. Well, not super late, but later than I wanted to. So I'm a little ill-prepared, a little out of breath because I was running around, and I'm out of shape, so that's not helpful either. So there's that. So hi, how was your weekend? Mine was a lot of fun. I had my crafting retreat this weekend, and I got well, I can't say they're all done because there are still little tiny things that I'm finishing up on them, but for the most part, I got all of my teacher appreciation gifts done for my kids' specific teachers. I've made these little berry baskets. Remember I told you I do paper crafting too? This is that part real quick, just to share with you because I'm excited about them. But I made these little berry baskets. I've got to attach a handle to them, and I'm making blueberries out of paper to decorate. These are going to get filled with blueberry muffins and a little gift for all of their teachers. But this is the one I'm most excited for. This one made me so happy. I made this for my son's preschool because it's his last year, and it's my last kid, and we've been with them for 9 years now, so I wanted to do just a big school gift. So this is going to have just a little, couple pieces of candy for each of the teachers of the whole school, little trinkets and whatnot, but it's so much fun. Look. It's a Ferris wheel, and it works. See, like, whee, it spins. And it makes me happy. But on the back, I've got this whole ticket section thing here that has the name of the school on it and everything. So it's personalized. It's their school colors. And yeah, so then I just have some fun little decorations on it. But I had so much fun making it. Yeah, these are the kind of... It's simple things like this. I mean, this may not be simple to some people, but what I mean by simple is it's these paper projects and stuff like that just make me so happy. So yeah, so that's it. That was my weekend. I got to eat well, and I got to have a little bit of just Katie time and not being mom or wife for a little bit. So it's always a nice reprieve for a few days. But now I'm back. I'm here with you, and we're gonna do something else. I got a tail. I finished my tail. I hope y'all have finished your tail, because this took a while. I think I sat down 3 different times to do this, just doing a little bit each time. So yeah. But today we are here to assemble our Mew amigurumi. So yay. Are we excited? It's that time. Obviously, since I've just realized this, I never finished stuffing him, her, it. So I gotta add some more stuffing in there. But we're gonna get started. So I guess let's get started. So we've got the head. I won't lie, I haven't finished all of my pieces. But for this particular stream, it won't matter because I'd only be showing you one of the 2 anyway on where to sew it on. So it works. So we've got our head. We've got our body. It's going to attach there. We've got the tail that's going to attach there. We've got an ear. You should have 2 to finish him off. I've got 2 arms because I messed up on that one stream. Thought we hadn't done arms yet. I've got one of my hips, and I've got one of my feet. These are all the parts, y'all. Obviously, there should be 2 of each of these. And then what else do we have? We have the eyes. If you're using felt, obviously you'll use your felt ones. Can I hold these correctly? There we go. Eyes and foot pads. I again only have one. You will want two. And then my corrected Pokeball. Master Ball. Hold on. See, I did my little M on there. It's got the appropriate colors, which didn't happen over the stream because, again, I was ill prepared. But it's fixed, it's stuffed, it's balled, it's here. I think the only thing it's missing are the circles that go on it. So like the black and white circle for the front, the little button, and then the pink circles that go on either side of them. But that's not important. We'll get there. I'll probably have that for you the next time we stream, and I'll show it to you. It'll be all finished. It'll be great. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you haven't stuffed or finished stuffing, in my case, we're going to go ahead and stuff some plastic in my stuffing. We're going to go ahead and stuff your head and your body. I gotta finish stuffing the head because apparently I got distracted at some point and stopped stuffing his head. I don't know why, but I did nonetheless. This takes a lot of stuffing, especially to smooth out that nose piece, because mine is holding strong. It seems like no matter how much I shove up in there, it still wants to crinkle. Can you see the crinkle? Yeah, you can see the crinkle. I am trying to make it not be that way. Look at all this. I'm just going to shove all that in there. Break it up a little bit. Yeah, I'd love to hear about your weekend. If you want to share what you did. Did anything super fun or anything? Did you go on a trip anywhere? Let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Yeah, I crafted and I did puzzles and I hung out with my friends. So yeah, it was good. I can't seem to be able to get this out. I think I've told you that during Pikachu, if you watch the Pikachu videos, I said I switched stuffing brands, and this one was a lot softer, not quite as dense. And I think that's my problem right now. That because it's a bit more malleable, because of its softness, it's not keeping the shape I want it to. I have to do a lot of manipulating for this. Ugh. I don't think I've ever had to put this much stuffing into a head before. But like I said, that's why stuffing matters. I think I got this stuff from Hobby Lobby. And I like the softness of it. It's great. But when it comes to stuffing something, you gotta use a ton of it because it's so airy. So I think I might go back to my Michael's brand of stuffing. I don't think it's Michael's brand, but I got it from Michael's. Is the point. Again, love the softness. It's great. It feels awesome. It's just you need to use a lot more because it's so airy and porous. There we go. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get this. All right. So we've got our head. You're going to need your tapestry needle or whatever it is you're using to sew on. Thread your needle. Bum-ba-da-bum. Oh, look. Body's the same way. Here, I thought I was done. Body needs some more stuffing too. Nothing in his neck. Yeah, this is what I have is the original polyfill. That's what I got. Be great for pillows. You just take this whole thing. Will not bunch. That's probably my problem. I need it to bunch. I need it to bunch. All right. This should be good. This. Spread it out a little bit there. Yes, I'm finicky even with fibers. Okay, now we're gonna get this started. So I'm gonna tuck, I have this remaining little tail for my body because I made my long tail on my head. So I'm just gonna tuck that in right there. And then we'll just sew it in together. Like I said, you should either have a long tail on your head or a long tail on your body, whichever, because you'll only be using one of them. I have mine on my head, so that's where I'm going from. All right, so now you are going to sew this together. Obviously, this doesn't look like it'll go together, but you will want to join them in each of their stitches. So this is going to obviously create a smaller space as you go. Mine is stretched out because of me shoving all of that stuff in there, but as you stitch it, that hole will shrink down to match this. You know, it'll expand and shrink both ways. This will get a little bigger, this will get a little smaller, and they'll meet in the middle. It's a good country song too. Meet in the middle, need that old Georgia pine. Alright, so anyway, so you're just gonna start where you want to start, basically. You do, however, want to make sure that this curve out the back, like see how this is more flat and this curves out, this is the back. Okay? So just make sure your head is oriented that way, because if it's like this, it's gonna look a little funny. It's gonna look like he's got a little pot belly. We don't want that. So just make sure that your head is oriented this direction with that coming off the back side. All right? Got it? Got it? Got it? Got it? Good. All right. So, oh, people are messaging me and I forgot to turn that off. So I apologize. All right, so I'm gonna go in here because that's at the back of where I am starting here. Goodness gracious. My friends are teasing me about a video they made of me over the weekend. So I'm not a morning person, mind you. And my friends very much are. And so, you know, I would sleep in the morning, and they didn't necessarily appreciate that all the time. And so finally on the last day, they took it upon themselves to come into my room and wake me up, even though I was technically already awake. I was just kind of lounging. And one of them was jumping on my bed, singing a good morning wake-up song. And of course took a video of it, because, I mean, why not? So now they're sharing it on our group chat. See, I told you it would be fun. I threatened to trip her, you know, while she was jumping above me. In love, of course. Alright, I am just getting these first few stitches started separately, so you'll see I'm kind of going through, well, I mean, you can't see what I'm doing, but you can see my arm. But I'm going through one stitch on the body individually, and then one stitch on the head individually until I get a good starting bit to where I can hold them together, because you know me, I'm not a pinner. Don't like to pin things. Yes, I know that may make things more difficult for me, but you know, I've done that my whole life. So why stop now? My mantra is work smarter, not harder. Unless it's in crafting. I tend to make things harder for myself. I don't know why. That's just how I am. Alright. Boy, they're not gonna let this go, huh? I'll be honest. I don't know how to turn notifications off of my computer. So sorry. I did turn them off on my phone. So at least you won't keep getting that dinging. Which one did I come out of? This one. Okay, here we go. Alright, now I've reached a point where it's mostly held together. So I'm going to start going through both of mine now. This is the piece that will take the most amount of time today. Shocker, because it's the largest one. Who would have thought? And I just went right through my stuffing and brought it out with me because I'm extra like that apparently. And that's how today's gonna go. And I just realized, so I'm sorry, that I'm still chewing gum. And I apologize for that. And I'm, second guessing it now, because is it more rude to continue to chew the gum or to spit it out on camera? I don't know where to go from here. You know what? I think I'm just going to keep doing it this way. It seems to be easier for me today. He's coming. It. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know if Mew is a boy or a girl. Pokemon are very nondescript. Getting there, about halfway through. I'm about to hang it here because I almost wrapped it around at the neck. That would have been bad. How's it coming for y'all if you're doing this alongside? I'm excited about the tail. I love it when there are parts like that. Oof. Sorry, that was a big neck crack. But I love it when there are malleable parts. Just makes it more, I don't want to say realistic, but more lifelike. When you can change the positioning. Especially for the kids who want it to be lifelike. The yarn is twisted a little bit. Keeps wrapping around itself. Oh, that's what it is. It's not wrapping around itself. Apparently, I have a join. There's a knot right there. That's what it keeps getting caught on. Not on itself, but on itself not. That made sense, right? No, it didn't. I know. It's Monday, right? Things aren't supposed to make sense on Monday. I'm going to throw this out there now. There will not be a stream this Friday either. I know I wasn't here this past Friday. There's not going to be one this Friday either. My son is having another field trip. Yay! Oh my goodness, y'all. They just keep going. My son's having another field trip that I am chaperoning for. And unfortunately, it falls on my streaming day. But that's not something that I can help. So yeah. On top of that, I don't have a new project lined up just yet. I have one in mind, and I'm hoping y'all will like it. It's not a Pokemon. But I'm hoping to be able to find the best pattern for it that I'm able to share with you. It's honestly more of a nostalgic piece that I'm excited about. But we'll get to that when we're done with Mew here. One thing at a time. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm not going to be here Friday. Because I'm going to be hanging out with my kid. In all honesty, I think it's going to be a little difficult for me. We might be down to just once a week this month. Only because it is the last month of school for my one son. And all of his stuff is falling on Fridays. So like this Friday, he's got his May field trip. And then I think next Friday is the postponed April field trip that I will also be chaperoning. And then the next week is graduation and the picnic. They always have an end of year picnic on the Friday after school ends. So that like kind of kills all of my Fridays, which is a little bad for my stream here, but I hope you'll understand. My family comes first. All right, last couple stitches here, and we will be good to go on the head and the body being sewn together. Woohoo! And voila! Bada bing, bada boom. We've got a body with a head. It kind of looks like a mushroom. It's a very pink mushroom. Alright, so now that we're all sewn on there, you can see my stitches. Look at that. I feel like I get better sewing each time, which makes me happy. Once you've got that, you're gonna fasten off and hide your tail, because that's what we do. So I'm just going to fasten off back yonder. Bing. And then I'm going to feed it through a few times just for security. There's one. There's two. And then I will feed it through and cut off. So in world news, apparently the UK has a new king. Should I say I'm sorry? I don't know. I mean, I don't follow I don't really follow all of that. I guess if you're happy with him, yay. If I lived over there, I think I'd personally would rather wish that he would have just stepped aside and let his son take over. But, you know, whatever. He's got to have his moment in the sun with that person he has by his side. I'm trying to stay nice here, I really am. But I have feelings about her. But I don't want to be disparaging. So I'm just going to keep it to myself. Yeah. So anyway. So if you're from the UK, congratulations, I guess. I don't know. How do you feel? Do you still want a monarchy over there? Kind of over it? I know Queen Elizabeth was apparently pretty awesome with y'all and everything, but yeah. When do you start dismantling that and become a self-governing thing? Or is that not something that everybody wants? I don't know. Obviously, I don't speak for the world. Just a thought. Give me your thoughts. I mean, there are pros and cons to both sides. I mean, there are pros to self-governing and there are pros to a monarchy type thing, and there are cons to both as well. As you can see from our voting system here in America, it's not been great. So, alright, moving on. We are now going to put on, what do we want to do next? Let's do the hips. We're going to do the hips. So your hips are also going to get some stuffing. Obviously, you're not going to shove in a lot in there because it'll just kind of pop out a lot. Like, and then I pull out this for this. But with as porous as it is, it might all fit. You never know. But you want it to be stuffed enough that when you put it on the body, it's going to hold its shape and not collapse. So however much you feel you need to accomplish that is how much you're going to need. Scientific, isn't it? Alright, so I'm just going to do this up against the side. So yeah, it's all sticking out, obviously, as you can see, but I think that's going to be a good amount so that it doesn't just pop over. So you just kind of have to push your stuffing in as you work to make sure. There it is. Like I lost my needle. Anyway, to make sure that all of your stuffing is inside and not splaying out the seams. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know this next tip that I recommend. When you're putting on the hips, let me adjust here a little bit. When you're putting on the hips, I suggest that you do it up against the desk. Let me pull this back a little bit. I do it up against the desk. Okay? So that you can see kind of where it meets when you sit it down. So that way you won't have it lopsided like my Charmander was, because I didn't do this. I learned. So yeah, so then you can be right up against a flat surface and make sure that he is flat when it is put down and standing. Also, for placement, you'll want to make sure that those decreases that you did, that, you know, bring in this section as compared to this flat round, that made perfect sense, to this rounded edge here. See how it's brought in? Come over on this side. It's brought in like that. That's going to be the front of your hip. So when you're going to place it on there, I'm going to make sure that's at the facing the front and not the back. Okay? So head down if you're looking at it down. I know I look funny right now, but if you're looking at it like from the top down. So, you know, you'll want to get your face lined up correctly so so that it's on either side and not, further to the front or further to the back, and he looks funny or something like that. Unless you want him to appear like he's looking sideways. I mean, I guess you could do, so if he's looking this way, you could do it that way. But then your back's off. I don't think you want to do that either. So just try and keep him straight. That's going to be your best bet, I think. All right. So positioning wise, this is where I want him. This is where my hip's going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and stab it down here. Boop. Boop, boop, be-doop. Get a couple starting stitches. I'm going to shove all of this fuzz in. And hopefully not grab it with my needle. You are just going to work this around and attach your hip. And of course you want to do that on both sides. I guess I can fix this now. You're not staring at my chin. I got new artwork, by the way. It's this way, right there. Ding, ding. I got new artwork. It makes me happy. It was on sale. I love it when things are on sale. I don't know if you can read it. It says, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." Nehemiah 8:10. Which he is. And if you don't believe that, that's okay. Don't hate me for it. I mean, to be honest, it's in my beliefs, it's not okay, because I would like for you to rely on the Lord and find joy in His strength. But I know that not everyone will or wants to believe that there is a higher power in life. And I don't want to say that's okay, but I can't force you. I can just give you the information and let you make a decision for your life, because God granted us that ability of free will. He is not going to force anybody to love Him, but He certainly wants you to. So there's my little bit. I will leave it at that. Don't want anybody to think I tricked him into listening to a sermon or anything. It's not what I'm trying to do. Bum ba bum 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 bum. My desk is a mess. I was all excited because I had it all cleaned before that big event I had, that Grand Prix event back in April. After that, everything got thrown on my desk, and now it's just gross again. And since I'm now prepping for yet another big event, I don't have the time to mess with it. I'll get to it eventually. The rest of my office has slowly been getting cleaner, though. I had a lot of stuff in here for my next big event. It's our store night. And one of our parents graciously came in and took inventory for me, because I did not have the time to spend on that. And with that, meant all of that stuff got out of my office, because there was finally an organized space to put it all, thanks to her. So that was exciting. It was an exciting day for me when all of that stuff left my office. Oh, did I already do that one? No, I didn't. Okay. We're just going around and around and around and around and around. making sure I'm still flat on my table here and not going too far in the wrong direction, because that would be bad. I will say this though, because this is severe. If you are a praying individual, I'm going to throw a prayer request out there. Someone I know was in a very, very bad motorcycle accident. She was driving her motorcycle on Saturday, and some guy in a truck didn't check his blind spots and pulled out in front of her, and she crashed into the side of his truck going at about 50 miles an hour and has really messed her up. She has so many broken bones, and it's almost like she broke every single bone in her body. I don't know if the truck ran her over or if another vehicle ran her over at any point during it or anything, but she has, broken pelvis, broken ankles, broken hips. Like, if you name the body part and the bone, it is probably broken. She's had a couple brain bleeds that they've been working on. So yeah, it's not good. So if you are a praying person, I would ask that you pray for my friend. And yes, bad things happen to good people because we live in a fallen world. Woohoo! We are almost done with Mr. Hippie. Hippy dippy over here. Coming to the end of it all. I don't know what's necessarily going through my head at the moment with these weird noises I'm making, but it's happening. I don't know what am I doing? Go in and then come out. There we go. In. Well, that's another song. I got a song for everything. My brain is like a ridiculous music catalog for some reason. And just about anything someone says, my brain will go to a line of a song that was used in or something like that. All right. Final view here. 3, 2, 1, and done! Yay! All right, our hip is connected. You can't see that. Now you can. There's our hip. Yep, that's our hip. I was like, wait, did I mess this up? I felt like I messed it up. So there's our hip. Obviously, you're going to want to put your other hip on the other side, but we're going to move on from now just to show you some more. So now we're going to do, oh wait, now we're going to tie off. That's what we're going to do. We're going to tie off because otherwise it might just fall off, and we don't want that. So tie that off, thread it through, hide your tail, cut off your excess. Bing. Okay. Now we're gonna add the foot. Le foot. I think I left a much larger string than I needed. But that's okay. I also left fuzz behind my mouth. Alright, so our foot now, yeah, you think of it like a rabbit's foot. Best way to think about it. It's going to get attached to the front of the hip. Okay. Once again, if you use a flat surface, like a desk, if you're working at a desk, it helps to align it a little bit more. I would recommend, y'all, I missed a step. So this is not my pattern. I got a little too ahead of myself. Not my pattern, not my Mew, not my monkeys. This is from oneupcrochet.com, right there on my little picture over there. I always point the wrong direction. Over there. So go check that out. Print out your own pattern if you're watching this and you haven't seen all the other parts. I do a walkthrough through Ash's pattern because it's not mine, it's Ash's from oneupcrochet.com. Okay. So anyway, back to this. So when you put your foot on, it doesn't matter what direction you put it on because it is all the same around. But when you put it on, instead of putting it straight up, you'll kind of want to put it out at an angle. I mean, unless you want it straight up, but it's intended to go out at an angle like that. You know, much like a rabbit's foot. So, depending on how you want to do it, it's your amigurumi. You do it however you want. But the intention is to poke out like that. Okay? Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So, I'm just going to put mine up on my desk here. So I know where he needs to be. And I'm going to stab it into the hip. We're very stabby. That was so creepy. Why did I do that? I make odd decisions sometimes. So I'm just starting at the very bottom. I want to make sure my bottom is secured on there. And then I'm just going to kind of hug him. I'm just going to hug him a little bit. Because again, I don't pin. I know that'd probably be easier to do, but I don't do it. Not me. Not how I roll. I wrapped my tail up in this. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to hug him so I can hold his foot and see what I'm doing all at the same time. So you want to go through probably, I'd say about 4 stitches. 3 to 4 stitches worth of the foot to meet up. Same with going through the hip. You'll want to go through about 3 or 4 stitches around, well, not around, but through, as you work up the foot to join it together. I'm going through 1, I'm going through 2, I'm going through 3. I'm doing 3. That's my number. And no, I'm not doing individual stitches. I'm just doing a group in one way and out the other. I already did that. So I'm going to go through that one. Next row, just working up the rows basically until I'm satisfied with its positioning. Do I want to do one more? What do you think? Do I want to do one more? I think I want to do one more. I want to do one more. That's what I want to do. I said it. That's the same one. Go up one. Not through the same one. Otherwise, it won't make a difference, will it? All right. So there. So mine's at an angle there. That's how mine is. Like that. I just went through these connecting ones up top. So I didn't come all the way out here. I just went through those kind of surface stitches for mine. Obviously, if you feel more comfortable putting it through the whole thing, do it. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of work back to just give it some more security and probably add a few to the very bottom. Just going to go back down, throw a few more in there to make sure it's not going to move on me at any point. I like things being secure. Especially when you're going to give it to somebody to play with. If it's just going to sit on a shelf for display, you know, it's not as necessary to make it secure because, I mean, there's nothing that's going to jostle it. But if you're going to give it to someone, the more secure, the better, obviously. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Why, you're welcome. I do what I can. Just a few more. Make sure it's good and on there. I'm gonna toss a few through the bottom. This is where a curved needle is really helpful. I didn't know I needed a curved needle until I had tried a curved needle out of desperation for not having a needle, and I was like, ooh, you're my new favorite. All right. Final stitch for the foot. We're going to fasten off. And call it a day for the foot there. Send it through a few times before cutting off this ridiculously long tail that I gave it. Okay, got that. We're done with the foot. All right. So obviously you'll want to attach your other foot to your other hip once you put that on. I'm only going to do one with you because, you know, it takes time. And I believe in you. I believe you are intelligent enough to figure out how to put it on the opposite side after I showed you how to do the first one.